Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pez Combined. This is a new show we're running that we like to call It's Talkin Time. And this is a show where we are going to discuss all things Power Rangers and tangentially related to Power Rangers.
Yep.
I am
Talking
James.
time.
I am James Phoenix. He's Chris the Ball.
Hello.
And also joining us today is one of our infrequent allies, the Fallen Angel.
Hello.
He's our
He's
robot knight.
He is. He's our robot knight. He's not a video right now. We're going to sacrifice our other sixth ranger, Simon, to give him power so he can survive.
Wait for a couple of months when we do a Kage before Christmas.
Yes! That'd be great. Anyway, today's Power Ranger topic. In this show, we're not just going to discuss outright episodes or seasons. We're going to do more overarching broad topics that can be seen through the whole series, all 22 plus years. So, effectively, what we're going to be taking a look at today is we're going to talk about the more recent seasons and the recent trend ever since Power Rangers Samurai 6 years ago. The trend of splitting seasons to run over 2 years instead of running them over a single year.
Yep.
Nickelodeon sucks.
Which, like I said, I'm still of the opinion it was a good idea. However, I'm also of the opinion they've executed it almost piss poor.
Definitely.
Only for one reason. I know people are going to use the footage excuse, but that's neither here nor there at this point. Before people throw excuses, it's a show that did what, let's call it, like, I don't know, 50 episodes a season. You half that down to 25 episodes a season. That puts it more in line with every other TV show that's out there, like Flash, Arrow, and stuff like that. And also at the same time, the budget for those 50 episodes would go to 25. Each episode should have twice the budget, twice the work put into it, and it should be twice as good. But they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And I know some fans preferred more episodes. I prefer less episodes because we don't need to. I mean, there's most shows on TV don't run for like fucking 40 weeks.
Yeah, the only shows that run like that are anime. And
Yeah,
it's just cheaper, I suppose,
yeah,
to do anime. But definitely with saying that, having like Arrow, Flash, like most TV shows now rather than back then, like they're running 22 to 26 episodes for a season. And they do really well.
they do.
But
And
that's because they have budget. Like
yeah,
a proper good budget.
I mean, like we were talking about before we went on the air, Kage. How many Emmys has Game of Thrones won? And it has less episodes than most TV shows because it takes the budget that would be for multiple episodes and puts them into one. So it's a lot of money spent per episode, and as a result, it wins a load of Emmys and stuff.
Yeah, like they're spending, I believe it was like $1 to $1.5 million per episode.
Ow.
So their production values are just through the roof. But Power Rangers, you don't need that much. You're taking footage from another show and just adding a bit of American to it.
You are, and then with the extra money, they can hire better actors, better writers, do more original footage that's good, and it would be a much better season. But I feel like they haven't done that much. I know people are gonna say Dino Charge uses a lot of original footage, but the actors, no, like that caveman, he's like one of the worst actors.
Poor Yoshi.
Poor Yoshi.
Yeah. But I think in saying that, Yoshi is also a massive fan of the TV series of the Power Rangers show, and as is his brother, who will be in the upcoming season. So it'll be interesting to see how his brother goes as Ninja Steel Blue. So
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I think Peter was doing a good job.
What do you think about the split, Jim?
I understand why they did it. I mean, Nickelodeon had. I'm sorry, Mo. Could you turn down a little bit more? Thank you. But I understand there is precedent for why they would do that because all Nick shows. I think the only show that's allowed to buck the trend of that 20 to 25 episodes a year thing is SpongeBob for obvious reasons. So I get why they would do that, but I feel like the problem is when you're splitting it like this, you have to cram more into each half because yes, you've got about the same number of episodes, but then you've got to manage to fit in a premiere and a finale for each year, even if there wasn't naturally one in. And obviously there wouldn't be in the Sentai because obviously that's one full season, so you have to make up a finale for the first half and then a premiere for the second half, and you've still got to manage to fit in, especially with a season like this where you've got to introduce 10 Rangers. You've got to introduce all those Rangers, everything else. You got to introduce all the Zords, the Battleizers, the power-ups. There's just so much you have to put in to be able to use later footage. It just feels like it always gets really crammed in and they have to rush through things. Whereas, yeah, some of the episodes were more padding in earlier seasons when you had like 60 episodes in MMPR season 1. But at least there was time to develop. So when you had these big events like, oh, it's a new Zord, oh, it's new powers, oh, new this, oh, new that, it felt like more of a bigger deal.
yeah, I think definitely with Dino Charge, they introduced the 5 core rangers, plus they introduced graphite, gold, and
Purple.
purple, yeah, like
Purple.
2 purples in the first 20 episodes.
Yeah.
I Even though it was good for the storyline to introduce graphite and gold together because their storylines are wrapped around one another.
Yeah.
And to have Albert and then Kendall at the end of the season, I think it was all good placing. I just think that there was too many Rangers for the first 20 episodes.
Yeah, there's
And
just
could
and
have-
now we've got this whole second half of the season, and there's all okay. We found Tyler's dad in like the second episode, and now we're just gonna waste like 15 episodes until we find Silver.
Yeah. So James, Tyler's dad, came in the second, third episode, whatever it was, as Aqua, and then Zeno Wing is in the next episode that is due out in America, which is episode 14, Silver Secret or some shit, I think it's called.
Okay.
So
And he was in a hologram before it.
Yeah, definitely. The last couple of episodes, he's just been showing up as the Silver Ranger.
And transmissions.
Yeah.
He's from space.
Yeah. So I think they could have moved either Kendall or perhaps freaking the Prince's
The Prince, yeah.
the Prince to the second half, just to equal it out a bit more and add a bit more story, I think, to the second half.
See, one of the problems with this one as well, though, is even if you remove the last episode of Dino Charge and the first episode of Supercharge, and you create 2 other episodes and put them all together as one flowing show, there's still too many. There's too many ranges this season in general. Even with the amount of, even with like the 50 episodes or whatever, like let's say 50 episodes, how many ranges is there? Like 10, 20? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So in the end, there was technically 11, but then with
are they going to use Kyoryu? What's his name?
No, they were
the evil guy.
I think. Yeah, they were going to, but I think they cut him. I haven't seen the episodes, so I'm not too sure.
It'll be a redeemed Hyde.
Yeah, but
I would love it if Echo got that Ranger power. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, freaking like in Kyoryuja with like those 50 episodes or whatever, they ended up having those 10 Rangers as the main cast, but they only really had the 6 of them for the majority of the episodes, and the others just showed up randomly when they needed them. So I think Dino Charge has forced it more of having them around all the time,
Yeah.
which sort of makes it just way over the top. And then in Kyoruja, they had like just because three of them were like spirit rangers, they had people from like the current, like the main cast's friends and family take over their powers. So there was even technically more rangers.
Yeah. And I was like, and with this one, I'm like, there's too many Rangers this season. This double season, the last double season was two shows mixed into one. The only one we've had that's really seen it is Samurai.
Yeah.
That's the and to be fair, the pacing in Samurai wasn't the problem.
The pacing in Samurai was fine. The acting was the writing were the problem.
Yeah, which that's why I'm like they've done it bad because they could have put more effort into it and made this better acted.
Hmm.
It's like
No.
it's sad when it's not even the best It's not even the best acted live action show on Nick.
Yeah.
Because when you have shows like Victorious doing better.
Yeah. Well, like
Victorious
the
was
time it was
canceled
on.
years ago.
Yeah.
I said at the time it was on, when you
Oh.
saw its actors, they were pretty
Yeah.
fun and they were good actors for like a show like that.
Mhm.
Why aren't the Power Ranger actors at least good? They need to
Yeah,
they need to get better actors.
Yeah, like the best
Because
episodes
the
of
other nigga,
Samurai were the episodes with Lauren, with Kimberly Crossman.
Kimberly Crossan was good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the problem is that the Nickelodeon shows that they cast things like the iCarlys and your Victoriouses is that those are union shows, so they actually pay a decent wage and they can get good actors. Power Rangers for 22 years has been non-union; they pay squat, so they get what they pay for.
Yeah, and I'm on about if you're doubling the budget like you should be if you split the seasons, you should be able to put that money into stuff like better actors and stuff.
Yeah.
You would think.
No, because I think they see it as like a 2 year deal sort of thing, and it's like it's just one show with 44 episodes,
Yeah.
and that's what they get paid for, rather than getting paid for
And,
22 episodes each year.
and
Yeah,
also,
which is weird.
and here's something else. Started these split seasons. I'm sorry, but as much as every single year, do we need to waste 2 episodes with a clip show Halloween episode and a clip show Christmas episode?
To be fair, those episodes are more specials because they're
Yeah.
outside of the main episodes. Like even if you watch it like how Saban tells them to order it on Netflix, it's usually the episodes and specials. So they're just
True.
throwaway specials. That's like saying, well, we had Mighty Morphin. Did we really need Alpha's Magical Christmas? It was a throwaway special.
No, we didn't.
It was a throwaway special.
I really want to know what that meeting was. Oh, we should like on a Power Rangers Christmas video. What could we do? Have Power Rangers something? I don't know. I got a better idea. We're gonna have Alpha kidnap a bunch of children.
And Tommy will be two Rangers.
Yes, and Tommy's suit will randomly swap 9 times.
Because what's the point?
No. No.
Now, not saying that some of the Christmas and Halloween episodes aren't good, because I'm sorry. I will admit, in recent Power Rangers, one of the best things I ever saw was Ho 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 Magna Beam. That was amazing.
I liked Robo Night Before Christmas.
That was also funny.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, going back to like the
Where they went to
split
Africa and they
stuff.
conveniently didn't run into Aisha.
Yeah, but like going back to the split and stuff, like having the 22 episodes over, or the 44 episodes over 2 years, is painful. Like it was good with Samurai because it was just one continuous season, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Megaforce was all right. Like having it Megaforce and then Super Megaforce with using the 2 different seasons made it like change up a little bit. And then with Dino Charge going back to being just like the one season,
Yeah.
I think it's a little too crunched and fast paced, I guess. I'd rather have I wouldn't have any more than probably 40 episodes in like a 1 season year. If it was to go back to 1 season a year with like a big amount of episodes, I'd go no more than probably 38, 40, because I think that's what RPM and Jungle Fury got to. As like it was ending the Disney
No,
era.
RPM and Jungle Fury weren't that much at that point. Episode standard was 32.
32.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I make the case they should probably, maybe if they want to do it differently, they should possibly do what they did with Megaforce. And I know the amount doesn't always add up, which is fine. But why not do that and keep mixing two together? Because they did it really. I liked Megaforce and Super Megaforce. They did a good job with it, I thought. Like this one, they could have easily mixed. What the hell was it? Go Busters and Dino thing.
Kyoruja, yeah.
Thank you. I just didn't want to. I just wasn't going to pronounce
Yeah.
that right. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
So like looking at like the Sentai season that either comes before or after Kyoruja, it's sort of hard to go from the one season to the next and make it plausible when converting it to Power Rangers, because like going from the tech Go Busters thing into ancient dinosaurs, or then going into what was next? Tokuja?
Ninjas. Oh no! Next is the trains, isn't there?
Trains.
Yeah, going into Tokuja. It's a little bit hard.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit hard, but they can do it. Look at Mighty Morphin. It went from dinosaurs to mystical stuff to animals to
Ninjas.
then they went into Zeo.
Yeah, but then
with
they didn't have the suit change. So
yeah, but
that's
they did with
sort of
Zeo
helped.
and Turbo, and it was still one continuous story with changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have to find a way to work around it, because nowadays with the Sentai, every season is just becoming more and more different.
Yeah.
So like the one we have at the moment is, I can't fucking remember, Duoja with animals. So I could see Kyoruja going into Duoja. That'd be interesting.
I will say I'm sad. Well, not sad. That's not. I'm a little disappointed with proper thing for them not doing the trains. I was okay with skipping Go Busters because I didn't like that when I saw no, but the trains. I'm like, come on, what like little boy that didn't love trains or cars?
Yeah, well, I think it's just more the American audience that they didn't believe that they'd be right into trains and shit, for toy sales. And
but
then,
right now, Thomas the Tank has become huge in America. Like people finally give a shit about him.
Yeah,
Over here, we cared a while back, but in America, people finally give a shit. Like he's a thing.
I gave a shit about Thomas 25 years ago.
Yeah, so did I.
They called it Shining Time Station, and they met George Carlin introduces cartoons for some reason.
That's a spin-off. No, that was a spin-off made for the American audience. I mean, actual Thomas. The American audience didn't care about him for the longest time. And whenever he mentioned him, they were always like, ah. And then suddenly he was everywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, so he's become popular again in America. Cool. He's finally... And like this one of Dino Charge, it works because Jurassic World came around before it. Dinosaurs are cool again. It's like trains are cool again. Do trains.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you know what's cooler than a train? Ninjas rehashed with a cowboy.
Yeah. And it's ironic with the dinosaurs, because that's kind of how the whole thing started, because the MMPR came out right around Jurassic Park.
It did.
Yeah. And I think also what'll be good for Ninja Steel, I hope to high hell that they include some of the Ninja Storm cast.
That would be cool. I'm not going to hold my breath, but that would be cool.
See, I hate the extra ranger that it looks like in whatever the fuck it's called, the ninja, or if it's called in Japan, where he's a cowboy cause Star, and I'm like, oh come on, no.
Oh, the
Yeah.
the Burger Morpher.
Yeah, I'm like that's so stupid. When we
Am,
get to that, I'm
yeah.
I'm just gonna be facepalming.
Yeah, am I the only one who, just for the sake of a laugh and a reference that only those of us that watched MMPR would ever hope to understand, hope that he pulled that the Ranger with the burger more for his bulk?
Yeah, then they can tie it together with Samurai.
Yes.
Oh no. I would
Burgersaurus,
laugh. Yeah,
Dogosaurus.
yeah. I'd laugh if they actually brought in like a Japanese guy to play the Sixth Ranger.
That would be hilarious and
So
ironic.
it's like a cowboy from America in Japan and a Japanese guy in America.
I hope
So the
his
Japanese
Zord.
guy coming to America doing what he thinks is American. That would
I hope,
actually make a lot of sense.
I hope they change his Zord to be a long white limousine with bullhorns.
Ha! Bow, bada, bow,
Uh, so
bow,
back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic about the split. I like I said, I feel like they're doing it wrong, but I like having less episodes because I also feel it prepares kids for the other shows.
True.
Like
Yeah,
kids watching 20 something episodes of Power Rangers and knowing, okay, this is how many episodes a TV show is, means they'll enjoy Ninja Turtles. And when they grow up, they'll also enjoy stuff like they'll enjoy like we mentioned, like the CW shows like Supergirl, which is fucking awesome, or Arrow and Flash and stuff, which is cool.
mm-hmm.
And then when they're even older and stuff, they can get into stuff like NCIS and see how that's structured and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of
And then
shows
when they're
nowadays.
older than that, they can wait for death.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shows nowadays are doing like I said earlier, the 22 to 26 episode range, and
They are.
it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
However,
But-
it is also worth pointing out the fact that a lot of those shows, especially most of the one Moles just mentioned, are an hour long each versus a half an hour Power Rangers, so you're getting the same equivalent amount of time.
Yeah, and then the budget is just so much better.
That too,
as well.
yeah, much better budgeting.
Yeah, there's better
So
budgeting and stuff like that, but you also get the same amount of episodes in 30-minute shows too, and they still end like even sitcoms end up being better done.
Yeah. While like Dino Charge has improved the quality of the show, with obviously Chiplin coming back into being the main guy,
Yeah.
freaking it still needs work. Like to cover, like having Dino Charge and cutting it into the 2 seasons with the super and the regular. It needed to be a little bit better paced and probably not better written, but just better placed, I guess, like where they put things in each season.
Better structured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better structured and stuff. I could see that, but I will admit I don't like most of what they've done with Dino Charge.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like the same with Megaforce and Super Megaforce. That wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. So it's sort of somewhere in the middle. Whereas then Samurai and Super Samurai were really well placed. It was really well paced, and it worked, except obviously for writing, acting, blah blah blah.
Yeah, which I said, I can agree with that. Like Samurai did a good job, but Samurai was a bad seasons. Megaforce was fucking awesome, and Dino Charge is just meh.
Yeah, and if
Like I put
anyone
Dino
didn't-
Charge up there with Turbo.
Yeah, and if anyone didn't hear at the Forever Ed panel at Power Morphicon, which was hilarious, somebody actually got in line and asked Samurai and Megaforce Red who was the worst Red Ranger.
Eh. What'd they say?
The moderator jumped in and fucked him off.
Oh.
Worst Red Ranger would be Crimson from Ninja. From Ninja Storm.
Ouch.
Because he's not even the leader in his own season.
Yep.
I'm kidding.
Surprised you didn't go with the guy that murdered somebody with a sword.
He didn't at the time he was a Red Ranger.
That is true.
That would be confusing the actor for the character, and that's stupid, Power Ranger fans. Stop doing that.
All right. So, is there anything much more that you guys wanted to discuss?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, like I said, we covered it. We all have slightly differing opinions, but yeah, like I said, like Power Rangers. If you think about Power Rangers as well, I don't know if you'd agree or not, Kage. It is like the CW shows for kids. Like it's like Flash, Arrow, and stuff. When we mentioned those, there's like a villain of the week and an overarching story, secret identities and stuff. It's a similar like show, but for kids. It should have similar quality.
Yeah, yeah. I think if they ask for a little bit more money from Saban, which will never ever happen, the show can improve in leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
That's what the Yellow Ninja Ranger asked for.
Oh.
Sorry, that's super relevant. Why not break the news? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's all a case of money, and that's all it is. Like they get a whole bunch of money from New Zealand just for filming there.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know where that money goes.
Directly into Haim Saban's pocket.
Yeah.
It goes to pay for the use of shitty placed props in the background that don't really do much.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't actually run out of locations yet to film new seasons in New Zealand.
Yeah, but realize they don't have to worry about running out of locations. I mean, most people aren't going to notice. I remind you that I would say 80% of Mighty Morphin episodes were filmed in the same rock quarry.
Yeah.
I will say, if they're filming in New Zealand as well, why haven't they gone and filmed in any of the locations from Lord of the Rings, like the volcano part Gandalf fell into? It's right there in New Zealand. Come on.
No, because like they're on the North Island, so I think most of that is on the South Island. So they'd have to.
Technically, isn't the Shire still there? They should go to the Shire and like have the villain turn the hobbits into monsters.
Yeah,
it could be a series with little people who turn into bigger rangers, like a whole season of Justins.
Yeah, I've been to the Shire. It's pretty cool.
Nice. But yeah, like I said, that I feel like we said, I feel like the splitting of the seasons isn't necessarily the thing that causes most people's problems. People will disagree on whether or not you'd have more or less. I think the problems all stem from just, it seems like it's got like no budget when it should do. If it's and I'm going to use air quotes because it's not, the #1 boys property as they claimed it was, logically speaking, shouldn't it have more budget? I mean, come on, they're saying it's the #1 boys show on TV. It must be beating Star Wars Rebels and all the Marvel shows, right?
Never.
Oh, so they lied when they put down the poster. Cool.
Yeah, there is no way that it is beating Rebels and all the Marvel shows.
I don't even think it's beating Ninja Turtles. It wasn't at one point.
Yeah.
And that's on its own network. But Ninja Turtles is written really well. But
no, I think it's just fallen to the wayside. And the only people that are majorly interested in it are the older fans who want to see it succeed.
And the kids that the older fans forced to watch it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, there's a movie coming out next year. We can turn that all around.
Yeah, a movie where they whitewash Rita. And then put her in a slutty costume that looks really horribly shit.
Is it whitewashing when the character was only Asian because the footage was taken from a Japanese TV show, though?
Yes. Because otherwise, why is Ghost in the Shell and all the other shows considered whitewashing when, well, is it really whitewashing when it's only because it's based on something that came from Japan?
Yeah, but technically they already did that because after they stopped using the Michigo Soga footage, the American Rita they got was Hispanic.
Yeah, but the new one is literally whitewashing because the other one's not whitewashing if it's Hispanic, Jim. But it's literally whitewashing, and her costume looks so stupid. The new costumes look silly. Like I don't know anyone that's excited for the Mighty Morphin film.
I think a lot of kids are probably excited for it. The
See, I
adults are more
I've
apprehensive.
see
Yeah, like we want to see it.
all the kids I've seen, Kage, are more excited for like Star Wars Rogue One and all the Marvel films coming out.
Yeah,
I've never
but
seen a
in
kid
sa-
go, yeah,
yeah,
Power Ranger film, yay.
yeah, but
Well,
in
I think it's the
saying
adults
that,
want to be excited about it. We're just hesitant because we're not, we know that, there's possibility of it being bad because we're hesitant about movies in general. So it's like we want to get excited about it. We're just reserved. But as it's a reimagining. There's naturally going to be changes to things. I mean, they switched around the races of all the Rangers too. I mean,
but
is it yellow washing that they made the Black Ranger Asian? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I would also point out to you at the same time with that, Jim, those changes were done more for the correct reasonings, so that's fine. And also with the apprehension, or whatever you want to say, yeah, there's going to be changes in any adaptation, but like there's changes in, say, like Iron Man to the comics. I don't think this film will be as good as Iron Man. The changes in this seem to be stupid. Like a lot of the designs for the new film look like they've looked at stuff like Avengers and Man of Steel and all these other films that are on the market. And like, oh, all of these are selling. Let's just take everything from them and put it together instead of trying to make it something cool and new. And I don't see it being good.
no,
I don't even think I'm not even going to go watch it.
yeah,
We'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, that's all we can do. It's all speculation until we get at least a trailer.
yeah, but yeah, going back to like the kids and that, I'd say they're not really excited yet, mainly because we've seen trailers for Star Wars, for Doctor Strange, which come out at the end of the year, and like as Jim said, we haven't seen the trailer yet for Power
Yeah,
Rangers.
there is,
So
but the other thing behind that is look at how much money Disney has,
yeah,
and look at how aggressive their marketing is.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's even if kids are slightly interested in the Power Ranger film and go to see it, it will only be a couple of months before they completely forget it because they're suddenly bombarded with go see Spider-Man or go see
yeah,
Star Wars or something.
yeah. I'm just happy they got rid of the last Divergent film to put Power Rangers in there because it's closer to my birthday.
Nice.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much
We're
wrapped
about
up.
good
We
here.
are.
Yeah, let's bring this home. So this has been a discussion of split PR seasons. Stay tuned monthly when we'll do this show and we'll talk about different Power Rangers topics. If you have suggestions or topics, put them in the comments below. Let us know. We'll consider them. And let us know, what do you think about the recent trend of splitting Power Rangers seasons these last few years? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What's your reasoning? Let us know. Mo, Kage, thank you guys for joining me.
Pleasure.
Maybe we'll have some other guests next time. I know the Queen of Hearts wanted to be here. She could not make it, so hello, Queen of Hearts.
I will always be here.
Mo will always be here. And with that, I'm James Phoenix, and we'll see you next time.